Srinjoy Chaudhary, just hours to go before the G20 event take place in Srinagar, and Pakistan is nervous, unnerved, completely rattled. Pakistan's dirty design has once again been exposed. Not just that, this comes on the back of the toolkit that was busted and exposed by Times Now. Now Srinjoy has gathered that Pakistan is plotting to sabotage peace. Let's understand more on that from Srinjoy. General G.D. Bakshi also joining us. Srinjoy, there are sensational revelations in this dossier that you've accessed.
Yes, Pranesh, these were intelligence reports. And what Pakistan has tried to do is, let's say, it's tried to do everything possible, from planning hostage situations through the JAM, and also right up to hydrogen balloons with the flags of so-called Azad Kashmir. All this will actually lead to nothing. The worst thing, of course, is this hostage situation that has been planned. Indian security forces, intelligence agencies have the exact area roughly where this hostage situation can take place. And it's going to be in a multi-storied building. That is the plan. And the JEM is being tasked to do it. Of course, the security forces are very alert, and that area, that entire area has been cleared out. And it's very, very clear that the JM is not going to get anywhere near it. But the point is, this is exactly what has been planned. That while the G20 is going on, we'll do a hostage situation, take hostages, and take away the focus from the G20. That's really the plan. If you look at other things, you have got a situation where there are these old organizations which have been roped in. They have poured money into Jammu and Kashmir. The idea is to have black flag demonstrations. You have hydrogen-filled balloons with flags of so-called Azad Kashmir. You will have Yasin Malik's wife already making great statements. And those statements are not being listened to. You will also have Tehreek-e-Kashmir starting a digital campaign. What really is left? You have the worst, of course, is this problem with the madrasas that is being planned. There, what will happen is people will go out of madrasas and attack security forces, which will ensure that the security forces retaliate. And if they enter the madrasas and cause a little damage as part of the retaliation, people are going to scream murder. So as a result, everything has been planned by Pakistan. As I had said, from hostage situations to hydrogen-filled balloons. The only problem is that all this effort, the time, the energy, the money, none of it is likely to work. Because the basic situation is that the people of Kashmir are fed up with all this infiltration, fed up with all this these attacks on targets, and all they want is peace and quiet, and they want their areas, the Union Territory, to flourish. They want jobs, they want trade. That's what they want. And that's what the G20 is all about. Because this G20 meeting will bring focus on tourism,
right,
and it will help the Union Territory. Now, what Pakistan is trying to do is exactly the reverse, is to disrupt the state, ensure that there are casualties.
Pakistan can try and plot all this, but our forces are always vigilant, alert to the situation, will not allow this to happen. General G.D. Bakshi will now... General Saab, if you can hear me, this is a super scoop by Srinjoy Chaudhary. Now Pakistanis are now planning a hostage-like situation in Srinagar.
You know, Pakistan is a country on the brink of economic meltdown. They are having civil war on the streets. They are in chaos and turbulence. That state is sinking. Yet it is hell-bent कि हम तो डूबेंगे सनम तुम्हें भी ले डूबेंगे. Ever since, they have heard of this G20 meeting in Srinagar, for tourism, they have been on a double drive, on an overdrive to try and disrupt it. They have started trying to revive terrorism, not just in Jammu and Kashmir, also in Punjab. They have tried to revive terrorism south of the Pir Panjals, in the Poonch sector, where they have done a number of quite fatal activities. They are trying to revive it in the valley itself. The security forces are on full alert, and I'm sure all these plans will be foiled. We should have a peaceful G20. But my point is that Pakistan now needs to be taught a lesson. Here is a country on the brink of state failure, a collapse of the state, trying to do harm to India. We must not just do consequence management. We must revert to the proactive stance we had adopted a few years back when we had done the Uri surgical strike, we had done the Balakot airstrike, and that had, cooled Pakistan's, order for all these kind of tamashas. We need to go back to that and raise costs and consequences for Pakistan across the line of control. I don't see why we have to be so defensive. Yes, we can choose our timings.
Are we being defensive, Srinjoy? Do you agree with what General Saab is saying? Are we being defensive because this is the time to go beyond name and shame?
Well, the first thing is the G20 has to happen properly. Once the G20 is over, then very clearly the armed forces, the other security forces have already been given a free hand. If they want to do what they want to do to ensure peace and security, they have the ability to do it, and they have a clearance from the government to do it. So once the G20 is over, we may see some action, particularly against infiltrating terrorists, particularly against all those who are trying to enter.
Okay. And this use of madrasas, and Srinjoy, just to quickly recap the piece of information that you had broken just 3 days ago, where we had details of the terror launch pads where Pakistani terrorists, with the help of the Pakistani army, were waiting to strike. Let's also quickly weave it in.
Yes, undoubtedly, there are all these launch pads. Now they are full of terrorists. As far as the intelligence reports go, it is very clear that there are a lot of them, and now the numbers in these launch pads have grown. Previously, you had 3 or 5 or places like that. Now, you will have places like Atmokam. These are all old names, you see. They have been there for ages, these launch pads. Now, you will have 16 or 18, and it's no longer just LET or JM. Each one we are looking at, many of them are mixed tanzeems. The other thing that we are seeing is that there is a possibility of bat attacks. A bat attack happens when these terrorists combine with the Pakistani commandos, the SSGs, and they attack a certain post, an Indian security force post on the line of control. There are a possibility of these bat attacks. They have happened before, and they could well happen again. That is actually a concern. So naturally, people have to be prepared for the bat attacks, because in these cases, the terrorists do not carry maps. The terrorists do not carry medicines or food. They just carry more grenades and more weapons, and they are supported by the SSG, which is the Pakistani commando force.
Okay, how should India answer this? Final comments from General Saab.
Look, I fully understand that we have the presidency of G20 and also of the ACO, and we are trying to broker peace between Ukraine and Russia. But that does not mean that we have to tamely accept Pakistani attacks. Every country has the right to defend itself. I agree with Srinjoy. We have the right to also choose our timing and our place where we wish to retaliate. But retaliate we have to. because Pakistan cannot be allowed to just get away with its second wave of, trying to revive its K2 plan. They cannot get away with it, unscathed. They must pay the price, they must face the consequences, and that itself will cool the order to try and keep attacking India. India is not a punching bag, and it can be very costly to provoke the Indian dispensation. They will have to find that out. Yes, we will choose the time and place of our choosing to retaliate,
Right.
but retaliate we must. It is overdue, long overdue now.
And retaliate we will if there is any provocation from the Pakistanis, just like the way we have done in the past. Rinjo, thanks for sharing that exclusive input with us. General Saab, always a pleasure to have you so that things are put in context. Taking a short break, lots more lined up on the other side. Please stay with us.